All right, good morning, everybody. So this is day 2 of the school year. Now, I have this red mark because I'm bald and I wear a hat. And when you're a bald man, you wear a hat, and at least if you're as white as I am, that's what happens. So today I thought I was going to talk to you guys about what I do on the second day, and talk to you guys about being able to adapt. Adapting in teaching, as we all know, is like pretty daggone important. We have to adapt to when a kid pukes on the floor, when they get in a little argument or a spat, when they just won't shut up, they won't stop talking. So being able to adapt is certainly a main part of a skill set of teaching, right? And yesterday I went through the syllabus, just a little bit though, in every class. I never got through all the syllabus in any of my classes, because what I like to do on the first day is I ask them, tell them anything about themselves, because especially if you're a new teacher, you don't know any kids, it can be hard cracking the code, so to speak, and getting them to open up and talk to you. So I start out saying, all right, tell me something about your morning, your weekend, your summer. I don't care what it is. You could literally just tell me what you ate for breakfast. It is literally just to get them to talk. And if there's some commentary that you can get back and forth, that's pretty good. Social studies teachers, especially in our discussions, I use Socratic methodologies. I love Socratic questioning, and I try to get my students used to me posing follow-up questions, how, why, things like that, and getting a little bit deeper. Because if you model it and they see it all the time come from you, they become more comfortable with it. And then when you turn the tables and you ask them to do it in a discussion, then they're more likely to do it. Okay. So I love Socratic questioning. So anyhow, I do that with all my classes. And then after that's done, because that takes quite a bit, it takes quite a while. And after that, then I kind of dive into my little video that I show. Now, here at my school, I'm pretty fortunate. I got like a really cool display. Used to, the school had, these things. But now I got this awesome display. So I have a PowerPoint. My PowerPoint's pretty basic. The first 3 slides is literally just telling them about myself, my hobbies, things that I like to do. Most of them are history related in some form or another. Tell them a little bit about my family, show them like pictures of my kids and stuff. And it kind of, again, humanizes us, because as we all know, relationships are so important to teaching. And after that, I have like intro things, like why do we study history? I have a little activity where I pass out note cards and I ask them to fill it out. Again, this is just modeling. It's just getting them kind of used to putting their thoughts on paper. It's not a super heavy lift. It's a pretty light lift. Why should we study history? And it's like, we should study it. It's like, I don't care. You're in social studies. You need to argue alternative perspectives. So, lie to me. Tell me why you should study history, even if you don't think you should study history. Again, it's a skill. You're developing skills, right? They're getting used to your personality. Don't be meek about anything. You have to have certainty and be sure of yourself, right? So just tell them straight up, like, hey, that's fine. It's okay. You can have that belief. I'm not going to judge you on that belief, but go ahead and argue the case. Alternative perspective. And then I have like a couple clips that I show from famous movies. Since it's in U.S. history, I talk about like, what does freedom mean to you? I don't remember what the other questions are. If you want to know what the questions are, put the sign up for my free monthly drop, and I'll put it in there for you. But it's in the description box. Okay, so I'll give you all that stuff so you can see what I use and the questions that I pose, and you can either use them or adapt them or whatever. So anyhow, I go through that. And honestly, that takes up most of the class, just the interactivity of getting the names and stuff. If you got talkative kids, they want to give you a lot of information, it's going to eat up a little bit more time. And then I follow up with that slideshow. And then after the slideshow, if I have time, I show them the syllabus and I go through it. And I don't skip anything, like it's boring. I tell them up front, like, this is going to be the most boring part of the entire year. But we need to make sure that we are all on the same page. You're setting that bar. Now, if you're a new teacher, setting that bar and maintaining that bar is super important. And if you are a good reader of people, right away you're going to know which classes are going to be kind of the handfuls, which classes are going to need some extra attention, which kids are going to need some extra attention, just from that aspect of it. So that leads me to the second thing. Third, I don't know what number we're on. I think we're on third or fourth point at this time. So you're setting these bars and you're setting these expectations. I already know that my 7th graders this year is a very talkative class. This is 2024. So that means this group that is 7th grade now, well, guess where they were 4 years ago? Yeah, that was the COVID year. So these are the 3rd graders who had like the 3rd grade guarantee and all that other stuff that kind of missed out on a lot of social interactions, classroom expectations, things like that. I did not realize like how important the 3rd grade year really is, but it is. It's something that all of the teachers in my school building for the past couple of years have really kind of noticed this trend. And if you're a teacher that's been around for a little while, you probably noticed this trend too. And if you're a high school teacher, man, they're coming for you. They're coming for you. You'll see. Hopefully we can get them up to par for you. But anyhow, I already know like that group of students, I'm going to have to not be strict per se, but I am going to have to set examples. I'm going to have to go up here. These are our disciplinary steps. These are our school's disciplinary steps right here, okay? So you have redirection, warning, parent contact, classroom consequence, and administrative consequence. And I rarely ever send students up to my dean of students. I try to handle all the problems. And what's really cool about my school is like we have incredible administrative support. I have never been in another school that has as much administrative support as we have here. That's one of the reasons why I stay here for 3 years, okay? The grass is not always greener on the other side. Now, if you're an admin watching this, well, thank you for everything that you do. But one of the best things you can do is, first of all, enable your teachers, but also give your teachers admin support and have someone in the dean of student chair who has got your back, right? I'm not saying those teachers are always going to be right, but having somebody that you can send them to who may understand the situation, if nothing else, give the teacher a break. There's some kids that are just a handful. And sometimes the dean of students, their view after listening to the problem is just having them sit outside their office for a little bit and then send them back after a cool down. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But anyhow, my ADD's kicking in and I've had just a little bit of coffee and I'm trying to get through this. So the next, so I know with my 7th graders, I am going to have to make sure that I follow the disciplinary steps to a T, especially until they get their acts together and they get used to me. Because a lot of them just don't want to take me seriously. And that's unfortunate. Usually I can just use my dad voice, my teacher voice, and it works. Especially me being a bearded, balded guy, I look older and everything. And let's be real. That gives me a little bit of an advantage to someone who looks like they're just out of college and almost looks like they graduated high school. So if that's you, well, you definitely follow through with it. Your first year teachers, you're going to pull your hair out a little bit, but just make sure to call home, okay? Carry a clipboard or have a clipboard near you. See what I do, because I don't carry a clipboard with me, but I have this table. It's at the front of my room, okay? Now on that table, I have all my papers that I give throughout the day, so it's ready to go. But if I need to, I'll put my clipboard there for each class, and I check marks on the ones that I need to call on, and just maybe make a little bit of a note. And if you're like me and you're not very good with memory, well, on your seating charts, at least, so we use Progress Book I love. You can print out your seating charts with the pictures and stuff. Now, if they're a new student, they don't have the pictures, right? At least yet, until after the first quarter or so. But print out the seating charts with the faces and try to get to know those kids as fast as you can. I can't remember names very well. I am horrible at it. It is like if there's a weakness in an interview, like what's your weakness? And I say I trouble remembering names. Okay, like I really struggle remembering names. And I work in inner city schools, and I did not grow up in the inner city. There's a lot of names that are just kind of foreign to me, and I have to, have repeated to me over and over and over again. and I'm almost deaf anyways, so I get uncomfortably close to some students. I tell them that to begin with, like I'm hard of hearing. You either need to speak up, or I had to get really close to you to hear. And it's nothing on, I'm not calling you out or anything, but you got to be able to speak up so I can hear. Otherwise, I got to get close. So anyhow, there's a couple of my struggles. I'll let you know some of my weaknesses. So today, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to finish up the syllabus, or start the syllabus if I didn't, because there's a couple classes that I didn't get to. They're talkative, right? So I'm going to get to the syllabus today, get through everything, especially highlight the rules of the classroom. Have your rules posted, make sure they're clear, all right, and make sure that you're going to follow through with it. I post all my rules right here. It seems like a lot, but the top one up here, all the way up there, that says everyone deserves respect, whether you agree with them or not, whether you like them or not, or even if you've never seen the other person before in your life. Everybody deserves respect. It's at the top, because honestly, all the other rules fall underneath that. And I want that to be a visual to them, and I want them to realize that, like, if nothing else, I can just call out that number one rule. It's like, hey, respect. Hey, respect. Hey, what do we do? What? Respect, right? If they're talking over me, respect. If they're talking over another student, respect. If they're making fun of somebody, respect. It all goes to that. So that's why I put that up there. But make sure you take the time and go through the rules. I'm also going to go through classroom procedures. So classroom procedures is stuff like, how do you use the restroom? Where do they sign out for the restroom? Do they have a pass or something for the restroom? Where do they get that? If they have any missing work, where do they get that? What are your expectations for missing work? What are their expectations for late work? I don't accept late work. 7th, 8th grade teacher, I do not accept late work. You're going to have to figure that out for yourself, okay? I'll make another video about this, because it might be kind of like a tangent or a rant, but I don't accept late work. And I'll make sure they know that, all right? And like where they're going to go for their fire drill. So just to break up the monotony of things, get them moving around, get their blood pumping a little bit, I go ahead, I take them outside for the fire drill. And of course I have to call up the office, like, hey, I'm taking my class out, show them where the fire drill is, just so they know where I'm at and everything. But I take them right out there and explain that. I show them where they're going to be for a tornado drill. I walk through the other procedures, like if it's they have to shut down the school, so to speak, for armed, someone who's armed, or level 2, level 3, all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, we live in that day and age. It's always been there, but got to make sure that the kids are safe. They know what to do and how to respond. And again, hold them accountable to it. I think that's it for today, because today's Friday. We got a thing at the end of the day where all our 7th graders and 8th graders, well, all of our middle school, we go down to the gym, and we have kind of like this Harry Potter thing here, which is pretty cool. They break up all the kids in the houses, and we compete for like points. And at the end of the year, of course, there's like a big competition, but every quarter we also have little competitions and little celebrations and parties and stuff. My house representing with the yellow, right? If you ever wonder like who this guy is, he's an intervention specialist at our school this year, but last year he was right next door to me. He's a math teacher, great guy, love him. But if you're wondering what's up with that, you got to have some quirks in your classroom, make some people smile. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day in your school. You guys are awesome. You're doing great things. Don't forget to take some time for yourself on the weekend. If this is your weekend, you're watching this coming up. You guys are great. Thank you for everything you do. And we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Oh, and don't forget to sign up for that monthly drop. Bye.